Good Devach, everyone, as we do a triple crown tonight, learning the Mishna Yomis in Masechtas Kailim, Perek Zayin, Mishna Beis, and Mishna Gimel, sponsored by the Fisher family, Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi Shalom ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain, also the Nishmas Dov ben Chaim, Lefu Shalem Fel Yomish Mechai, Sar Yaakov ben Bas Yilea, for the Schus of Avram and Yom ben Ishma Malki Yehudis, by Yod Klugman and family, Lefu Shalem Fel Avigdai ben Rivka in the Beschai, Sar Yitzhak ben Siyam Medush, Rivka Bas Shivalea, Aaron ben Sar Yitzhak Ardchai ben Esther Bracha, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fradel, Chana Bas Shashabina, Rivka Bas Shivalea, and Meir ben Chai Yisrael, they should have a refuah shalema b'sech shachar Yisrael. So now this stove has a shelf coming out of it. The shelf is like a triangular piece with a bottom made out of earthenware that holds pots. So dochain sheyesh by base kibul kederis, that has a place to hold pots. Tar mishum kira. If the stove becomes tamei, it's independent and it's tar. The tamei mishum kli kibul, but it has its own din of a keli, and if you dangle a sheretz inside it, it will become tamei. Hatstadin shalai, the sides of this shelf, the outer sides of this shelf, if the oven becomes tamei, hanageh behem ain't a tamei. If you touch them, you're not tamei mishum kira. But what about the shelf? Part of the shelf shears the wall of the stove. Right? There's two triangle walls coming out, but it's part of it is the wall that is the base of the triangle. That's the wall of the stove itself. Is that tamei if the stove is tamei? Harachav shalai. Reb Meir Matayr says no, that's part of the shelf, and that part is tar. Reb Yehuda says no, but it's also part of the stove, and it's metame. Now, likewise, v'cheina koifes asal v'oisal gab of kira. If somebody turns over a basket, which has a din of a kli eitz, and it's wider than the stove, and you could put pots on the basket, so the same thing is true that if the stove becomes tamei, the basket doesn't become tamei, but the basket itself could be mekabel tumah as a klei eitz. Now, kira, a stove, shenechlika la'arka. Stove has, remember, two holes for two pots. If it's divided along its length, so then now you have on one side two half holes, and the other side two half holes, so either piece is not worth anything. Taira. L'rachba, if it's divided along its width, so now you have one side with one hole and the other side with one hole, each are usable. Tameya, so then both are tamei. Kupach shenechlak, but a kupach which has only one hole, whichever way you cut it, the two halves are not usable, you only have a half a hole. Bein la'orka, bein l'rachba tar. Now we're going to learn about another keli. Chotzer akira. This is a stove that sits on like a tray that could also hold pots. And so it depends. Bismanchi gavaya shalosh etzbais, if the rim around the perimeter of the keli, of the tray, is 3 etzbais, is 3 finger breadths, so then metama b'maga or b'aver, then it will become tamei if you dangle a sheretz in it, or if you touch sheretz touches the inside of it. Pchusa mekan, if it's not 3 finger breadths high, then it is not going to be mekabel tumah itself, but metama b'maga, if the stove becomes tamei, then it will be metame things that touch it, vein metame ba'aver, but it won't be metame things that go in its ear space. Now we said if the rim is 3 finger breadths high, so we said if you dangle a sheretz in this courtyard, in this tray, it's tamei. But till what height? So you would say till 3 finger breadths, but that's the 3 finger breadths is only the outside. On the inside, the height is the height of the kira, of the height of the stove. So we measure the height in an interesting way. Rabbi Shmuel Omer noisin as a shpud milmalon lamatan. We take a spit and lean it from the top of the stove till the bottom of the rim. And that area inside, that diagonal all around, is considered the interior of the chatzar, is a continued area of this tray, or connected all around metama ba'aver. If a sheretz is dangled in that zone, it's tamei. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov says, nitmei sakira, if the stove becomes tamei, then automatically nitmei sachatzer, the tray becomes tamei. Nitmei sachatzer, but if the tray becomes tamei, loy nitmei sakira, the stove does not become tamei. Okay, we are learning one of the hardest mesechtas in Shas over here with Mishnayos Kailim, and bully to all of you for staying through it and working on it. It's really recovering learning that we learned b'mei ha'imai, something that many people don't do in this lifetime. We'll of course enjoy it even more in the academy in Yerushalayim and in Olam Haba after 120. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a good tavach.